praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. We'd also like to give double honors to our elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do group well. We'd also like to say peace, safety, and salutations to the Lord's beloved elect, to the hopeful elected in 1/3, and Adon Ratazah. These modern day epistles, these camps are edifying to you, body of believers, to you, brothers, and you very few sincere sisters. All right, to you we say shalom, mind and noise. We're doing an indoor ministry today. All right, the weather wasn't really on our side, and the Lord blessed us to be able to get together. So we're still gonna do our camp. So today's gonna be an indoor ministry. All right, and all week we just been speaking about how we're at the end. We're completely at the end. We're at the end of Edom. We're at the end of captivity. Matter of fact, I can even get that real quick in Lamentations. If a brother wants to post it, Bayan Yasharal, if you want to post that in Lamentations, what's that for? Rejoice, you're good, brother. Yeah. Rejoice and be glad. We can grab that real quick, but pretty much, man. It's a beautiful thing to see this, because like now, the Babylon that we've been used to, the Edomites that we've had to deal with, like now all of them are at their end. It's not their kingdom anymore. And it's beautiful to be in this time. And what's heavy is we also got the Passover coming up, and you gotta understand. Right after Passover, well, I'll say this, right after we ate the lamb for Passover, what happened? At midnight, judgment, okay, and deliverance. So we're in a time of what? Serving the Lord, judgment, and deliverance, man. All rolled in one. You got that, brother? Mm-hmm. Let's read that real quick.
This is Lamentations 4:21.
Yep.
It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom.
Yeah, so lately that's been on my spirit, like you're out and about, you're walking, and you see the nuclear family Edomites, because they're all just low level. At the end of the day, these are just low level, 2-time losing seat filling Edomites. Okay, they're not the global elites. They're not even a part of the global elites plan at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. But we are amongst these people that have been allowed to eat off of a system that's destroying us. So now seeing these same eaters now feel rumbling, now see shaking, the birth pains. Hey, it's beautiful, because we've been telling you to rejoice and be glad. Get your homes, get your credit cards, do all these things that Babylon has allowed you to do. But just know that the triumphing the wicked is short ultimately.
Yep. And it reads and it says that dwelleth in the land of Uz,
which is here Babylon today. You got Edom and Babylon, and then you got Edom and Ashdod. Okay, and these two counterparts of Edom have been living very deliciously according to the plans that have been given to the elite. Mm-hmm. The earth been given to the hand of the wicked. So those who are in power, those on whose power they're on their side, they're going to benefit from this place. Yeah. So they've been benefiting. They've been benefiting. They've been getting, the teats, the glamour, all the BS, and now all of that's coming to an end.
And the reason it says, the cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked.
So Edom's about to be drunken with judgment. It's a demon downstairs.
Yeah, bro, come on, man.
Anyway, read that again, brother.
It says that Lamentations 4:21. Yeah. This is why we got to get out of here.
Hey, ultimately, we got to get out of here, bro.
Ultimately, man.
No matter what the Lord, we're thankful the Lord gives us this. We're thankful the Lord does that. But at the end of the day, we need the kingdom.
Yeah. We need to be back in our own land, and be empowered. But back in Lamentations 4:21, and it reads, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, right? Rejoice and be glad. Because right now, Esau, you see the brothers' videos, the elders' videos, like the calculation of Esau losing it. Like he's losing it. He's done. He's seeing that his kingdom is going. And like you said earlier, these 2-time losing Edomites, they're not in the plans of the elites, right? They're 2-time losers. All right, and this message ultimately is going to, the gates of the nobles.
Yep, it's already, and now we're in a time with the situation happening with Persia, is now Babylon is also going to focus on what they would call the radical left, and what has singly happened. Fucking children. What is these adults are children.
Yeah.
What has singly happened is Esau has leagued Jake with the radical left by saying his life matters, not knowing that that was a government funded. That's like the new Black Panther Party.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if we want niggas to get free breakfast again, it's gonna be through us.
Yeah.
So Esau created this movement for so-called black people without it even being of black people, and then now he's gonna use that to target black people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
This how you gonna say
I'm
it.
gonna see his picture.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not. Honestly, let me see. The fuck they doing? Oh, it's not bad. The wadi yabashima shot. We're good.
Okay.
We're good. Keep going.
Call
Yeah.
back in.
There's background noise here where we're at, but luckily the Lord don't got the sheep hearing it.
Call yeah. Because it says let the word have its free course.
Right.
You know.
Exactly. That's one thing I noticed when it comes to teaching, bro. Is my spirit gets stirred when someone tries to interrupt it. Like, that's how you know we have authority.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you may have to go to work, you know, you may have to this, you may have to that, but when you're teaching, bro, you're the authority. Can you get Mark 13, please?
Yep.
When you're teaching, when the Lord blesses us to put the Holy Spirit on us to actually teach, you could feel we're the authority, and there's nothing no one could say. See, when you step in their world, they're the boss, they're the manager, the she wears the pants. But over here in this truth, you feel the authority in the spirit, man.
What verse you want, bro?
34.
Got you. Yep. Mark 13 and verse 34.
Yeah.
For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey.
Yeah. So this walk, even as us as young men, looking back, when you think about it, for us to be where we're at right now, and let's say from looking back from 2016 to 2026, a lot has happened in 10 years.
Oh yeah.
But you also see how things take place, so even speaking carnally about the kingdom of heaven being as a long journey, you can see that. You can see how things take time. Like, I remember I was going through the videos, and I did a video through the Holy Spirit where I did a video titled Amalek could strike Persia any minute now. And then they actually did. But guess what? That was 9 months ago.
Right.
So it's like, things do happen, but you got to watch everything play out. That's why prophecy is so important, because when the next phase of prophecy happens, like the MOTB, that's when things are going to move very, very quickly, unlike his plans. That's why he's going to be in straits, because he's thinking he can drag this shit out in the water, like a snake.
Yeah.
You know how a snake don't go just right for to kill them? They're patient. They wait. So now the snake ain't going to have the leisure to slowly coil his prey. Yahweh Shai is just going to come in and grab us out of the grip of the snake in the garden. You imagine that? Like, this whole movie is like a prey, and its whole biggest fear is this huge snake. And for years, everybody's been talking about, watch out for this snake, watch out for the snake. And then finally, at the end of the movie, you're getting coiled by it, and then the camera changes, and a man walks up, just grabs a snake out the ground and grabs the prey out of its hands. Just like that, because he's nothing. He don't got no power, man.
Right.
Let's read that again.
And it says,
Start from the top, please.
Yep. Mark 13 and verse 34. For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants.
See, so we've been given authority, and that's why the order is so important. That's why each camp, everything is set up in the spirit to operate under the guise, the guise of the Father's business. All right, so there's order within the church, and that's already been commanded, because if there's no order, there's confusion, and the Most High is not an author of confusion. So this is why, guys, that's why it says, let him put away anything he learned in the world, because of wisdom is foolishness. So you can't think you could come into this and I'm gonna add this to it. No, you gotta let the spirit. Flow, and who got these talents does this, and who's got those talents do that, and it's a body. Like we were just talking earlier before the camera went on. we all get the same notifications, but that's only if you're in the know.
Yep.
You know, like if you got the end time headline, you're gonna get the same thing we see.
Yep.
You know, if you're subscribed to the apostles, the elders, you know, like we both just saw GMS live. So it's like if you're in the body, you're gonna be receiving the same notifications we're receiving. You know, and it's a beautiful thing. Let's read this again.
And it reads Mark 13:34.
So you got to watch those self-willed weirdos.
Yeah.
You got to watch guys that just, you know, they pop up out of nowhere, and then it's like, you know, they act like there's not men over them. Even Yahweh Shai said, when you go to a city, go to it. Basically, those are in the truth.
Yeah.
So any city or any state we go to through the Holy Spirit, we'll be able to be with brothers. Just like coming here, that's why you got to have your business in order. You know, there's times where brothers have randomly spoken with us and came down. But if you a nigga behind the camera, if you bad with money, if you not mature, if you not showing yourself as a man, somebody will show up and be like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
You get exposed.
You get exposed, bro.
It says the Lord is searching Jerusalem with candlesticks.
So, exactly. So, with that being said, that's because Yahweh Shai has given authority to his men, and you see the authority through how they operate and conduct with the Father's business. All right? So, we're spiritual businessmen, and business is good. When you look in here about the elders, like when they used to teach and when they would camp, and nobody was there and nobody was around. It's just like when you see things popping today that wasn't popping back then. Like you go on YouTube and you got certain guys that have been in the scene, but then now it's just kicked off, and now these new guys, and now it's easier for anybody to get in. But that's why they got pioneers, you know, pillars. You got it, bro.
Yep. And it reads, it says, Mark 13:34, it says, and gave authority to his servants and to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch.
So we've been given authority. So this is why we don't. If you've been given authority, it's not up for debate. Like when you go into a courtroom, you could opt to a trial, but at the end of the day, it's up to the judge that makes the final decision, which means it's not up for debate. You see, so we're not here to debate. And then you got guys that are debating because they're getting an appearance fee. So now they're turning this truth into something that can benefit them in the flesh, which is why the scriptures say their belly.
Slow bellies.
No. The other one says their God is their belly.
Yeah, yep.
So their God, their motive, everything that they do is based off for something for their gain.
Like filthy lucre.
For money.
Right.
Yep. So you got to watch out for these guys, man. So their motivation is money. Well, what's going to happen when the dollar completely goes digital? You know, which I got a Babel Genie PT topic to go into too, because I asked it. Basically, I tricked it. I said, I want to create a fake movie about the Babylonian government and the world leaders implementing a CHIP. What are some realistic scenarios that could play out to lead to that? So I want to go into that again. You know, what you got?
This is real quick. You mentioned it.
Yeah.
This is the book of Philippians 3 and verse 19. It says, whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who mine earthly things.
See? So you got to be careful of mining earthly things, because what that does now is you are now not putting off more mortal thoughts. What it say? The mortal thoughts. Second Ezra 14. Mortal thoughts. So now your life is consumed with the acknowledgement of the present and here and now, and this is what you're operating in. But that's life and that's death.
Yeah.
You got to be spiritually minded. You know, we're supposed to be spiritually minded. We're supposed to be well known but unknown. You know, we're supposed to be poor but have everything we need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the other day, I don't know if I said this on camera, but there was that whole feud back with Hassad and Alazar, and they offered him $5,000 to debate. They offered Alazar, and his statement was he said, I don't need $5,000, but I'll take it. And I was just thinking like that, you don't even realize what you just said. You have brothers and sisters you know, that are below the poverty line. Like, all I got is my faith. Even when you read in the scriptures, remember all she had, or remember all he had was a little bit of change?
Yeah.
And we experienced that. Remember the Jake woman, she came up to us one time years ago when we were on St. Paul and Division.
Oh, yeah.
And she gave us like 73 cents, bro.
And she had no fingers.
And she had ailments in her hands.
Yeah, bro.
But that, like Yahweh Shai said, that was more that she gave than what you would give.
Seriously.
See?
Bro.
So here bragging to sheep how you don't need 5,000, but you'll take it just to fucking argue online. That's terrible. That's not authority from Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, bro.
When you actually sit back and think, there's some truth to that Edomite saying. What would Jesus do? You know how they wear those bracelets?
Oh, yeah.
That's a real, what would Yahweh Shai do? You know? But you got it, bro.
He said, I don't need it.
That's crazy. I do.
Right,
but we got whatever we got. The Lord has given us what we need.
Yeah.
But it's like, shit, take $5,000. You know, we could do that with the brothers, the elders, send money off, get this handled, get that handled, just to give yourself a little breathing room so that you got less weight on your shoulders while doing a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because we're carrying our cross.
That's right. And it reads Mark 13:34, and it says, "And to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch."
So we're supposed to watch. Okay, we're supposed to be watching what's going on. We're supposed to be watching, you know, any implication leading to what we know as prophecy. Okay, we're supposed to be updating you. You know, it said Yahweh Shai said, "Feed my sheep." So with the Babylon Persia situation, you know, you should really be looking at this as a heightened tool that's going to be used to weaken the economy for ultimately a reset. Okay, so you got to look at the things that are happening right now. Now, ICE is being made mention again because they're saying there's a lack of TSA at the airports. Then one would say, damn, that's kind of the right time for something to quote unquote happen because they're short-staffed.
Yeah.
So it's like you should be always looking at these situations and doing biblical math. Well, that plus that could equal that. You know, that's how you got to be looking at these things, man.
Biblical math?
Yeah.
Got one for you.
What you got?
This is 2nd Edges 9. Listen to
Oh, perfect.
2nd Edges 9. This happened right now.
Perfect. And we gotta read all these scriptures that you heard 100 times. You're gonna hear it 101 more times. Okay? Don't tell me why you think they got repeat on CD players.
Yeah.
There's a reason why there's a repeat button. There's a reason why in the studio they got something called the loop. Because when it's perfect and it's so good, I want to hear it again and again and again and again and again. I want to hear it again. Read it again. Do it again.
Yep. In 2nd Edges 9 and verse 1, it says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself."
Right. So you gotta measure the time. Like what comes to mind is that scene in Terminator 2 when Sarah was having a vision and she was seeing another form of herself with her son, and what was she doing? She was just playing.
Yep.
Like everyone else, and then all of a sudden off in the distance, because you wasn't measuring. You know, you measuring, you just measuring ash. You measure the dating pool's got piss in it.
Yep.
You know, you know what I mean? You're just measuring worldly shit. You said it, earthly things. They might. What is it?
Philippians 3. No, we just read it. Philippians 3:19. It says that you mind earthly things.
Thank you.
You know, and that's one thing too. John 17, it states that Yahweh Shai took us out the world. So us being taken out the world, then that means that our mind shouldn't be geared towards the world. It should be geared towards prophecy.
Yep.
Towards, brothers, towards, the ministry.
Yep.
Like it says in Sirach 39, it says that you meditate in prophecy. There, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep. Sirach 39, meditating on prophecy.
Yep. Thank you, bro.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll read that real quick.
Yeah.
I'll read Sirach 39. Check this out. So let's go to Sirach 39. What's that? 39.
Yeah, verse 1, I believe.
Yeah, which you could start at 38 because 38 is showing you all these the working man in Babylon is a sucker. Okay, so when you look at chapter 38 and you start at around 29, it goes into the the mechanics. Anybody that's pretty much has found a profession of success in Babylon, but ain't nobody gonna be looking for his ass when the mark come.
Right.
Ain't nobody gonna be worried about Jerome that you know what I mean is selling sneakers. You know what I mean, that nigga ain't gonna give the answers for you. This is Sirach 39:1. But he that giveth his mind, see, you got to give your mind, okay? And then there's times where you'll be examining your mind and what you've been thinking. There's times I get mad if I'm thinking about something more than I need to be.
Yeah.
Why the fuck I'm thinking about that?
I know, right.
Why can't I just meditate on John the 3rd chapter?
Right.
You know what's John 4:27 say? But because we need the new covenant put within us.
Yep.
That's why we're under grace right now, because we're attempting to we're tasting the fruit of the kingdom, but we want the forest of it, man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want just a sample.
Hey.
You know, even Jake in the mall, right? Which you remember Moab? You know what I mean? You turn the toothpick to the clean side.
Yeah.
Let me get another one.
Yep.
Then Moab's all greedy. Little greedy ass nigga.
Little nigga.
Sirach 39:1. But he that giveth his mind. See, so what's your mind on? What's your mind thinking about?
Yep.
Listen, you're out the loop if you're waiting for mainstream media to tell you something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're out the loop. And another thing, I noticed there's a lot of AI propaganda bombing videos. But hey, if the world believes it, it's true.
Yeah.
But just be mindful that right now with the Persia thing, there's a lot of rumors. But Yahweh Shai told us there'd be rumors. But guess what? Rumors lead to things happening.
Right, because it makes sense.
Because
like,
you believe it.
Yeah,
because it's like you're in school.
Exactly.
And James said he gonna fight you, man.
Pass it around.
He's gonna fight you, bro. And then now you like, what? And here it is. James has no idea. And now you got this nigga in the bathroom taping up a pencil.
Nah, for real.
And then now when he sees this guy, because of the rumor, he does something to him. And he didn't even know why they was doing it in the first place.
Right.
Because that's what those rumors are going to do. Rumors are going to lead Esau into the valley of decisions, man. That's what's going to lead his ass right in there.
Yep.
Sirach 39:1, because Amalek gave rumors about weapons of mass destruction.
Yep.
Albert Einstein gave rumors about Hitler. Project Manhattan. So when you look at these things, those were all based off rumors. What does Melansky say? That Persia has weapons of mass destruction. Those are rumors. But he needs those rumors. Esau's a rumor kind of guy anyways, when you look at him. It says, Sirach 39:1, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecy. So that's the most important thing that Yahweh Shai sheep should be fed is what? Prophecy. You know, because when you look at all these other, camps and the things that they got or give or do, it's like, bruh, we need to be spiritually being prepared for this pilgrimage that's about to take place, because we took a pilgrimage before when we got delivered out of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
And Passover's coming, bro. Passover's on the way, man. You're gonna eat lamb, eat it in haste, all right, standing on your feet, and then what? Judgment goes out. And that's what happened in ancient Egypt, and the Lord is bringing that spirit to this modern day spiritual Egypt. Is judgment after Passover. Every year around Passover, it's just like, it gets the air gets thin,
Yeah, it's a real eerie feeling.
Yeah. So imagine back then, in the midnight, the death, Yahweh Shai, bro. Yahweh Shai did that, man. You got it.
This is 2 Esdras 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
See, measure thou the time diligently. So what time are we in? What time are we in? Keep going.
Prophecy time.
We're in prophecy time. What time you got? I got prophecy. Half past prophecy. You know what I mean? Like you look down at your watch. There should be a spiritual alarm going off. Prophecy, prophecy, prophecy.
Yeah.
There should be expecting more pestilence.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like right now with the Persia situation, like it would make sense for like now that they're on the board, that other things are gonna get on the board, like financial, economic woes, pestilence, things of those natures. Like everything, birth pains, everything just hitting this place.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. And it says, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, there shalt thou understand. that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
See, it said, then thou will understand. So a lot of times, we're reading the scriptures, we're expecting things, but it's different when you see it.
Oh, yeah.
Like they say, seeing is believing, but Yahweh Shai said, blessed are their eyes for blessed are they that have not seen and believed.
Yep.
So it's one thing to already believe now, it's another thing to see what you believe in. You know what I mean? Like when you actually see it, like, man, it's just like the Lord said. Because see, we're so used to letdowns. We're so used to scams. We're so used to, the fluff.
Yep.
And like, when you're dealing with the Lord, he don't operate like Esau. So you've been in Babylon so long that all you know is the Edomite result.
Yeah.
That's trauma. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now with us being allowed to be awoken, and we get to see how the Lord works, it's like, that's why it says in Psalms 58, like, we're going to be like, man, surely you're a just power. Like, like when you go through things, I've praised the Lord for his mercy. Like, man, the water for your mercy, man, for showing mercy on me, for helping me, because we're not used to those things here in Babylon. You're not used to love, truth, justice, honor, integrity. You get all the opposite. So with the Lord's will coming to pass, there's a natural spiritual reaction to rejoice in it, man.
Yeah. No, seriously. And it says back in 2 Nebuchadnezzar 9:2, I'll start from the top. It says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And that's one thing too. These creatures don't realize that this world has been created just like you. And soon people are going to realize that, because soon the Lord's going to install fear back inside man. Because right now, man's prideful. They don't acknowledge the Lord. But when, shit's the fan, then everything is going to, their reality that they think right now is their reality is going to be turned upside down because of prophecy.
Yeah, it's going to shift.
Right, it's going to shift.
It's going to shift, just like they can't stop an earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
They can't stop a bone being broke. They can't stop rain. You know what I mean? You can't stop the sun rising. And that's why the Lord said that. If you could basically, stop the rain, Jeremiah 31.
Yeah.
Can you get that? Matter of fact, yep. Jeremiah, we haven't read that in a long time. Jeremiah 31 and 31.
Yep.
Like the Lord is letting you know, like, this is you know what I mean? Like you need to breathe. You need to blink. Like there's a reality that the creature is bound to, Job 14:5. There's a reality that the creature is bound to, that Jeremiah 31:31.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reality that us as creation is bound to, that none of us can change. Like, it says man doesn't have power over death.
Right.
You know?
Yep. Jeremiah 31:31.
Yep. 31 and 31, 33, 31. Let me see here.
Oh, got it. Yep. Jeremiah 31 and verse
31.
35.
31.
I'm sorry, 31?
Yep.
Okay, my bad. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant.
See, going back.
Yep.
Going back to now we're saying about the covenant. Going back to us, you'll sigh and cry, because it's like, you're in Babylon. You can't just sit down and study or have a spiritual quiet moment. You gotta find pockets of peace, and you know what I mean. It's like always something going on. Always someone fucking moving in vanity. That's all Babylon is filled with, is useless eaters on a vain mission.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a video game. I want to collect all the book bags. You know what I mean? Like the women with the Stanley cups. I just want to collect all these fucking Stanley cups.
It's vain.
You don't even know what those shits turn into if you put it in a dishwasher.
Oh, man.
I'll leave it there. But it's just all vain here. Everything is vain here. There's no substance. There's no good.
Mm-mm.
It's just plastic. All this place is plastic and beer.
Yep.
Keep going.
And it says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord.
Everything's processed. Everything's fucking frozen. Like, how are you giving me, how am I buying frozen food that I can wait 3 weeks to eat?
Mad scientists.
By heating it up with microwaves of radiation. Like, what is that gonna do to my gut lining? You know what I mean? Like, bruh.
That proves he's a heathen.
Thank you.
He saw people, you got to realize he's a heathen too. People are so used to seeing red people. Edomites, like, he's a heathen. So that's why he's used to doing certain things. That's why he's the devil the Bible speaks of.
Yeah.
You know? And it says that behold, the day is coming to the Lord that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel.
And we're getting ready to rehearse this righteous act of practicing the customs for the new covenant through the Passover. Remember, Yahushua said, "Eat, for this is my body, and drink, this is my blood, which is shed for many in Israel." You know, which is also Luke 1, for remission for many in Israel. You know, so it's like we're getting ready to hold the Passover, but we're also acknowledging the new covenant through the sacrifice of Yahushua, man. So when you sip that wine on the Passover, that's in reverence to this prophecy waiting to be fulfilled, and it's solidified through Yahushua. You know,
and it says, "And with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt."
Boom, we're holding Exodus 12. So there, and it's our new year. The Exodus 12 is literally the first month on our calendar.
Yeah.
Exodus 12. You know what I mean? That's when the Lord said, this is going to be your month. This is going to be your new moon. So that was the Lord establishing the old covenant with us. And then now, when you read about through Yahushua's death, burial, and resurrection, we now are under grace to waiting for the new covenant to be fulfilled. So this is why we rehearse the righteous acts in reverence to it. Okay, so this is powerful, man. Okay, to other Israelites, this is boring. To other Israelites, this is corny. I don't want to watch. Well, you know what I mean? Whatever. Go do what you want to do. You know?
And that's crazy.
Because this is your culture.
Yeah, exactly. It's your heritage.
But you'll sit down every time Mike Jackson movie comes on. You remember that shit?
Yeah.
It'd be
on the American Story.
Yeah, come on. That's
Making Dream.
Yeah, that should be on for 3 days.
Right.
You clicking through, it's still on. Now Tito's fighting in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? But Jacob, sit there and watch that. You know, they'll shh, we got a good times.
But you know why? Because Jake been in Babylon too long.
They ain't got the spirit though.
Right.
That's what it is. Because we in Babylon.
Right.
They ain't got the spirit on them to care. That's why Yahushua said we're in a true hour. We're the true worshipers. To where I watch videos, fall asleep to. You know, I'm gonna watch this video and fall asleep to it. You know, because it's comforting. So this truth ain't comforting for every Jake out there that knows that they're Israel.
Yep.
But they'll fucking sell you some incense on Etsy.
Yep.
You know?
And it says, Jeremiah 31 and 32, it says, which my covenant they break.
Which ultimately it set up that way. Because the creature was subject to vanity. So ultimately this was all set up for the importance of Yahushua being our savior, man. Okay, so it was all set up this way. So this is why when you got other guys that are just screaming law, you hear law more than Lord. You know, that's what you got to be mindful of. Is like, I understand those are our customs and ways, but you're screaming the law more than you're screaming the Lord. What about Yahushua? What about being under grace? What about those things? Keep going.
And it says, although I was an husband unto them, said the Lord, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel.
Yeah, so we was spiritual adultery. You know, we've been allowed to be brought back, okay? And now we've been reconciled, all right? Like a relationship. What even Jake calls it, makeup sex. You know, it's a real thing. When you come back together, it's passionate. But it says, seek him 10 times more. You know, so you had someone, and then you get back together. You know, it's like a spark's been reignited. So the Lord has reignited our spark through the Holy Spirit because of Yahushua, man. That breath of life in Ezekiel 37, that's the Holy Spirit from Yahushua. You know, when you think about these old Testament precepts, if you will, that OT Israelites will use or say, but the spark of that fulfillment comes through Yahushua. A son has been born. A son has been given. A virgin shall have a son. You know, when you look at a quick understanding, when you look at all these things, this is all attributes fulfilled because of Yahushua, man. So when you have Israelites that are not reverencing Yahushua or speaking or introducing you back to your Savior, that's not a shepherd of Yahushua. You know what I mean? Like it's like you're on the car dealership, but you're trying to sell your own cars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it reads verse 33, after those days, said the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts.
See, so we're waiting for this to be fulfilled, and that's gonna take place when we get changed in a twinkle of an eye. But the only way we can get changed in a twinkle of an eye is the mandatory mark prophecy, and then the destruction, and then the deliverance of that. So it's like to get to this, we need that. You know, biblical math. You got it.
Mm-hmm. And it reads, and write it in their hearts, and it will be their God.
Write it in their mind. So you're not gonna have to battle Satan no more.
Never.
The sisters, you ain't gonna have no demonic thoughts. You're gonna be your endorphins are gonna be all the way up.
Just normally.
Everything is just gonna feel good. You're not gonna have demons on you. You're not gonna have the curses on you. You know, you're gonna love your husband. You know, the making children's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm. No more evil lie towards Israelite men, you know, unto the next man. No adultery. Yeah, no covenant after, you know, the
next man's
your
wife.
wife's neighbor. Yeah, your neighbor's wife.
You won't even think that way.
Yeah.
You're not even gonna think that way.
You're not gonna die because you're not gonna sin. The wages of sin is death. That's our kryptonite.
So that's literally why Yahweh Shai is the best lawyer, because he took the contract and within it he made it better promises.
Yep. That's right. And it reads, Jeremiah 31 and 33, I will put my law in their inward parts.
See, we need that, man.
And my bad. And right here, at the top of 33 says, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. It didn't mention any other nation. It said only Israel, right? It didn't say Edom or Moab or so on and so forth. And then it says, I will put my law in their inward parts and write in their hearts, and will be their God. So right there, that's something that's stating something that you possess.
Possessive.
Right, possessive.
And then it said their God.
See?
Wait a minute. That cuts the TGC ministries.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Explain this isolated situation, though. Here it is. That's another thing. If salvation was for everybody, why is there isolated prophecies that haven't been fulfilled yet, specifically between the God of the Israelites and his people?
Yeah, exactly.
Why does it not say, I'll be the God of the world?
Right.
No, bro. I will be can you read that part again, please?
It says, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their God.
I will be their God. Put that on a t-shirt. I will be their God. I will be your man.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? Like, he's specifically letting us know as a nation that now we're going to have our power back. You got it.
And it says, and they shall be my people. You see?
See?
Right there is a huge distinction. The Lord is not, it says, what's that, Amos 3 or Amos 2? It says that the Lord is not dealing with, it says the Lord delivered, the families of the earth.
Yeah.
The Lord delivered us out of Egypt. And it's the reason why.
Yeah.
You see?
I only know you.
Exactly.
I don't know that. And you know, it's heavy. You'll see that our parents, like when a kid is like trying to mention someone else and your mom or something, she's like, I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, everybody.
That ain't my children.
Yeah.
Don't they say that ain't my children?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it says
then you get mad. You know, if you're a parent, you'll be looking at other people's kids, like how remember what's his name of Bebe's kids, Robin, when he looked back and was seeing what the Bebe's kids was doing to old girl's boy, he kind of gave him that look, like, fuck y'all doing, you know? Yep. But like as a parent, you'll have that spirit. You take your kid to a park or something. I don't care. You looking at a kid, what the fuck you doing to my kid, man? Mm-hmm. You don't care that that's somebody else's kid because you caring about yours.
Exactly.
So that's how where you think that spirit comes from? You know?
Real.
Only Eve wants to take care of Edomite children.
Mm-hmm. They can have that.
Take care of that fucking baby.
That warheaded baby.
Right.
Yeah, I said
it. Yeah. Red veins.
Verse 34. And it says, and they shall teach no more every man.
Oh, and shout out all the Jakes that look like Edomites too.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because there's tares that look like Israelites.
Yeah.
You know? I wouldn't be surprised if there was some tears in some of these other camps.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Because you think about it, you got like your GOCCs, you got Edomites amongst Jake in those other camps right now.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So how much more if he looks like a Jake, but he's really not.
Yeah.
You know? He's got like the dreads and he prefers to wear the red bandana, but like as like a headband. Like not as like gang.
But like it covers his forehead,
yeah,
his hair. Yeah. Yep.
That nigga wearing jeans with open
He
brown
wearing
sandals.
Boot cut jeans.
You don't trust that nigga, bro.
Brown sandals.
You don't trust that nigga.
Oh man, then he does this.
Yes, bro. and you've always mom's black,
but his dad is
white.
white.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's why the Lord said, "You just wait till they grow up together, and you see."
His name is Gene.
Mm-hmm. But that's why it says, "Try every spirit."
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Because remember, I believe it was the elder Pastor Yamlam. He had told a testimony when it was like a heathen came to the
Elam.
Elam, yeah.
He's an Elamite.
Yeah.
And then I think he finally said like, "Oh, this ain't for me" or something.
Right.
Or he just got up and left. It was like a Hamite.
It was either him or Elam.
One of them.
One of the two.
But they left.
Yeah, he left.
They knew. Oh, he's like, "Oh, this ain't for me."
See. Back in Jeremiah 31 and 34, it says, "And they shall teach no more."
And the heathens hate that this is just for us.
Yep.
Because one thing you have to learn about humans and their nature of vanity is they're hypocrites. So they have a level of their intelligence to where they can do something, but they also have no problem not liking it if you do that.
Yeah.
But they have no problem in that. You know, it's like they could be late to work, but if you're late to work, it's a fucking problem.
Yep.
Hey, this is a problem, buddy. But it's like, motherfucker, you was just late.
Yep.
See, that's how heathens are. So it's like, it's okay for them to have salvation. It's okay for them to say who they call God is white. It's okay for them to do things. But then it's okay for them to put us in slavery. It's okay for them we've conquered the Native Americans.
Yep.
It's okay for them to do those things.
Yep.
So then when you hear prophetically through the Bible of a book that he once used and now has tossed over his shoulder, he now has a problem that you picked it up when he tossed it, and you found out something in it that he didn't find.
Right.
That's what happened.
Yep. But that statement alone proves that we're the Lord's people.
Yeah.
That proves that we're the chosen, because no other nation, has the Lord's dealing with to get these secrets and to push his gospel, to push this divine message. But it just so happened to be so-called minorities, right? The stereotypical so-called black guy or the so-called Hispanic man, right?
I got one for you.
Yeah.
That's Psalms 147 and 19. He sheweth his word unto Jacob. So that proves right there that Esau ain't the chosen, because if Esau was a chosen, the Lord would have showed the word to him.
That's perfect right there.
Amalek.
Right.
Amalek chooses the Talmud. So
Right.
he don't even want this word. And that's why for us, Satan will try to attack or tempt us and not reading as much, studying as much, because it is for us.
Right.
That's why he ain't playing it. Esau's not trying to read the Bible and this force. And he's just like in movies, he can't walk forward. No, bro. He's not fighting to get to the Lord.
He's not fretting.
He's not fretting.
He's not contrite, bro.
No, he's not. It only jumps out of him when you got it. It's a sibling rivalry. He shows the characteristics of a spoiled older brother who is not favored.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It says, he sheweth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation.
That's self-explanatory right there.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. So they don't know the Lord's judgments. They don't know what's going on. Like right now, they don't know the severity of what this next Passover is going to bring. You know what I mean? Like that was a very heavy time in our history, And then now we're in the fast forwarding of that time. Hence why it's called the spiritual Egypt. And now we're getting ready to partake in the Passover again with the reverence of Yahushai under the new covenant. Man, Hey, after this Passover, man, you should be expecting some major judgment, man.
Yo, yeah.
You should be expecting, when we had our first Passover, do you know what followed that? That's another thing. Esau always portrays the Passover. Remember the Rugrats? I remember when I was little, I was watching the Rugrats, and they had like a Passover because Tommy's Amalek. Tommy's granddad is Amalek.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
they did like a Maccabees one.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So I remember Dreidel, I made you out of clay. Dreidel. All that shit, bro. I grew up to that.
Damn.
Not knowing, you know, so I remember watching the Passover, and it's like fucking whatever. What's his name? What's the main baby?
Tommy. Yeah.
Tommy. He's got the yarmulke. You know what I mean? He's got all this shit, and like they make babies, bro. In the Bible, Amalek was killing our babies when we fled out of the Egypt, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, what a demon!
Yeah.
He was killing our elderly and our young, and then he the only time he speaks on that account, he puts in his baby in it and delivered.
Yeah. Then also too, let's not forget about when he Hellenized us.
Yeah.
First to eat pork, he killed our children. You know.
He specifically made you put pork on the altar.
Yeah.
Like nothing
Yeah.
else. He specifically wanted pork on the altar. Why couldn't he just say, "Sacrifice this lamb to my God"?
Right.
And what God you serve that wants pork? You know what the? Anyways,
Satan. See,
exactly.
But that proves he's like the scriptures say, the son of the wicked.
Exactly.
You know, it says you're a vessel unto dishonor.
Exactly.
You know, exactly. Oh man. Oh yeah, first my bad.
That was it.
Oh yeah.
Psalms 147. Yep.
Back in Jeremiah 31 and 34, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor.
So this cuts anybody that says we're in a new covenant now. We're teaching right now.
Right.
We're teaching right now.
Literally.
See, dumb jakes like that. See, you are going to regret those demons that overtook you. The jakes that say they weren't a new covenant, the jakes that come against this truth, you know, just these weird offshoot rebellious jakes. And another thing too, the Lord gonna jack these jakes that are wandering around from camp to camp. I've seen certain YouTube channels on our comments that are also on like Deacon Akaz, and they're on their live feed interacting with the people. You ain't in the right spirit, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, you ain't in the right spirit, bro.
For real.
You jump into this, and a lot of you jakes, you just think because you raise up your fist across your chest with a stern look pointed towards the camera with a beard on that you're just solidified.
Fringes on.
Come on, bro. This thing's about the spirit, man. That's the flesh.
Yep. Ezekiel 37.
The flesh.
You got the flesh but no breath.
Yep. Keep going.
You know? And it says, verse 34, and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for they shall all know me.
Yep.
From the least.
And see, then in the kingdom, you won't have to ask when the Sabbath is, ask when the Passover is, which it's April 1st to the 2nd this year. I'll tell you this. The way you figure it out is it's 14 days after the new moon that was March 18th. So 14 days from that is what? The Passover.
Yep.
We got a calendar. Hence why the moon, it was created as a clock.
Yeah. Yep.
It was created, the new moon. So according, if you go by Nate, you'd be late. If you you'd be late. You'd be like, I don't know. I don't know. Friday's Saturday. Every day Friday's Saturday.
And that makes no sense because come on, man. Even a clock, like, because the movie says the moon is the Lord's clock. But even a clock on the wall, like, for example, if it's, let's say, some celebration that Esau has, it's not going to fall on the same day next year or the year before that. You see? So it can't be Friday to Saturday.
Right, because even Esau's hell days change.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Yep.
Makes no sense.
That's a cut.
Back in Jeremiah 31 and 34, it says, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, said the Lord.
Babies, everybody, every Israelite. It's gonna be amazing too, bro. Because like right now, we came and have our people like that. You know, we came and have our Jake women. You know, that's why the brotherhood's so important, because our Israelites in the world, the men and the women, they don't even rock too tough with us. You know, and some of them even know they're Israelites.
Yeah.
You know, some of them even know they're Israelites, but for some reason they don't like you.
And even amongst themselves.
Yep.
You know?
Just because you're an Israelite man, you're going to have Israelite women, and they're going to be given. Okay? It ain't going to be the Riz and can I court you? Because that's another thing too. I get we're in captivity. But even on this side, these women, they still have the wine of Babylon in them.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Seriously. And it says, for they shall all know me from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord, for I will forgive their iniquity.
And that forgiveness came through Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
By the Hebrews, man, by let me matter of fact, let me go to Hebrews real quick. So we're in that season, man. And I'm gonna say it again because it's on my spirit. If lessons about hearing about Passover, Yahweh Shai, grace is born to you, then you can leave. You can go get distracted in the flesh and be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Cause that's broad is the gate, bro. It's easy, it's so easy to just go on fucking social media and look at folly.
Yeah.
Look at nothing. Not be in the spirit. But then now when the spirit is speaking, well, I don't like that aspect of it. I want to hear this. No, we're being inspired to tell you this. We're being inspired to tell you about Yahweh Shai. What is that telling you? You know? We're not saying Christ. You know?
Right. We're not saying
Shit.
JC. You got actual camps out here that say that, bro. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
And it says, while you're getting that, keep going.
Yeah, I'm just looking through. I mean, there's a lot, you know. Real quick, this is Hebrews 9:22. And almost all things are by the law purged with blood, and without shedding of blood is no remission.
See?
So going back.
And just like, because in the book of Peter, it says, Yahweh Shai shed his precious blood.
Wow.
You know, so Yahweh Shai died for his people, that opened up everything.
Can I say something? Bro, according to the law, we're not supposed to make any cuttings of the flesh.
Yeah.
So the fact that Yahweh Shai had his flesh cut, be sacrificed, and blood shed,
man,
for us as remission of sin, bro, you can't get that love nowhere else. It says a righteous man will barely die for someone.
Yeah.
So it's like there ain't nobody in this earth that loves you more than Yahweh Bashem Shai, man.
Seriously.
Okay? So for you to turn your back on Yahweh Bashem Shai for something in the world because you want that to love you, it's fucked up, man. You know what I mean? It says, before I formed you in the belly, I knew thee.
Yep.
So fuck if these people know us, want to know us, or like us. The fact that Yahweh Bashem Shai even called us says something. And you waiting a call over. You already got the call.
Mm-hmm.
We already got the call, man. You know?
Yep. That's right. That's why, you don't want to go into Jacob's trouble feeling guilty.
Right.
You don't want to, be regretful.
Yeah.
That's why. But on the flip side of that coin, that's why it says don't condemn yourself.
Exactly.
You know, so you put your best foot forward to the best of your ability. So that way, in that day, you're not, saying like, "Oh man, I could have did more." You know.
Exactly. I got it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
1 Peter 1:19. It says, let me start 17. It says, and if ye call on the Father, who without respect of person judges according to every man's work, pass the time of your sojourning here in fear, for as much as ye know that ye were not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold. Wow, that's a cut. So you can't be bought carnally.
Mm-mm.
No man shall buy you.
Mm-mm.
And Eve gonna be left by the bayou. It says, from your vain conversation received by tradition of your fathers, right? Because going back to the old way, the paying the priest, sacrificing, it was, and that's what a lot of Jakes are in. They're still in that old covenant Levitical priesthood.
Yeah.
A lot of Israelites are. If you're yelling that I need to wear fringes everywhere I go, you're in the Levitical priesthood.
Right. What about the priest of Melchizedek?
That we're waiting to receive because we're under grace now.
Exactly. Right.
The priesthood of Melchizedek is a new covenant in us.
Yeah.
Which
right.
It says that the priesthood of Melchizedek is in the heavens.
Right.
You know?
That's amazing, bro.
Right. So we're all gonna be priests, as the scripture said. The scripture said ye should be a nation of kings and priests.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna be kings and priests, man. That's gonna be a very beautiful thing. And that will fulfill Isaiah, the 2nd chapter,
right.
When the nations are going to come up. They're not going to come up from putting their Game Boys down.
No.
You're going to be looking at a people staggering, clothes ripped, scared, elbow wrong, things happening. We're talking, this is going to be the transition of empires. And this empire, when we come down, is still going to be smoldering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's still going to be heathens that are here right now in power that are gonna be in power when we come down, so we can take them out of power.
Yep.
It says 19, but with the precious blood of Hamashiach,
There you go.
as of a lamb
See.
without blemish and without spot,
Mm.
who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world. So this was already set.
Man.
This was how the Lord's will was set from the beginning when he declared the end. This is how he wanted it.
So we're just waiting on things to happen.
That's it.
So if Yahweh Shai, him going up in the cross for his people was preordained, and how much more everything else?
Exactly.
If that was preordained, then that means Yahweh Shai about to come back.
It
says everything is faithful and true. These words are faithful and true.
So he's waiting.
Yes, yeah.
Because it says no man knows the time, hour, or day.
Right.
So the Father, why you think brothers are into movies? It's not because it's the talents the Lord gave us, if you will, the things we like, we dislike. Those are all attributes given from the Lord.
That's right.
So you like in a movie, brothers may like music, and not just music, but the production, the build-up, the sample that was found in the record crate. You like
Right.
that just gets you going. Like, damn, that's where that came from. So it makes sense. The Father, he loves the fact that no one knows when he's gonna finally release it.
Yeah.
And when you know that, the time ain't that long for you. It's like going back to a child. You know you about to let that baby out the corner. They don't know.
Right.
So he's waiting for the right time. Now I'm going to let you go. See? So it's all perfect buildup by design. And the Father is the director. You know, and Yahweh Shai, he's the main character.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right, bro. Yeah.
It says, verse 21, it says, but was manifest in these last times for you. So all this is being manifested for you out there, okay? So that's why the Holy Spirit's like you'll see that like on someone where they'll give you their abilities, they'll give you their service, and then when you don't appreciate it, they got a spirit like, all right, well, fuck you then.
Not for real, yeah.
All right, well, fuck you then.
Yeah, because I'm giving this, out of love.
Yep. Yep. I'm giving something to you that I don't have to.
Willingly giving it
right,
to you, though.
Wanting to.
Yeah, exactly.
So now the Lord, let me get that, John, where it said, the Lord, about Yahweh Shai said, not only them, but also those that hear the word.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
John 17 and 21.
Let me see.
Remember he said, I pray for you.
Oh, John 17 and 9.
Yeah, but then I want to get the one where also, the ones right here. This is John 17. I'll get 9, then 20.
Okay.
John 17 and 9. I pray for them. So the fact, man, who else is praying for us, man? You know, like, you really think about these things, man. Because I feel like one thing Jakes in Babylon, they suffer from is this need to be loved by women. Yeah. What's that song? Need to be loved by you. Right? But it's like, what about the love that's already been given? The love of Yahweh Shem Shai. The love of the Father. You see, that's what your main focus should be presented upon. Yeah. Your whole thought process, because I get it. We get tempted. Satan tries to make you forget practice. But this is why, the lessons, the camps, the edification, the inspiration is so beautiful, because it's spiritual reminders. These lessons are spiritual fringes, that remind us, like that scene, or that clip that Esau caught of Jimmy Butler, like he was sitting on the sideline and he was like looking off thinking, and it looked like he kind of like came to his senses. Yeah. Like, the fuck, I'm tripping. Yeah. Because that's the chains of darkness. You can't let the chains of darkness block out the light of love from Yahweh Shem Shai. You just got to rewire your mind for what love is. Love ain't just getting your fucking back rubbed. That's servant. That's she's doing her. You love her doing her job.
That's by default.
Right. So you got to understand what love is. Love is laying down your life for your friends. Yep. Like it said, love is the law. Well, the law be having things commanded we got to do for one another.
Yeah, that's love.
Yeah, that's the love. So we're trying to show you the love. Let's show where's the love? Mm-hmm. It's right here. Right here's the love. The video's going live. Ain't nobody in Babylon dedicating an hour and up to you for betterment. This nigga will give you 10 minutes of destruction and folly on repeat.
This nigga give you 10 minutes of the same Michael Jordan highlights you seen your whole life.
Whole life. It's just a new nigga talking about it. That's how much he loves you. That's how much he loves you. He puts Play-Doh in something that he calls chicken and then breads it, and that's how he loves you. You know, the bitch ignores you, plays games with you. That's how she loves you.
Esau gonna show his true love by putting that seed up inside.
That's him loving you.
You know?
But then here it is, the Lord is telling you, you're getting ready, you're gonna get a kingdom, you're gonna live forever, you're gonna be this, you're gonna be that.
And a nigga would say, nah, I'm good.
He just cussed.
Nigga would say, well, what about white people?
They hate women.
See? But that just means you're not the elect then.
Exactly. John 17:9, I prayed for them. And then Yahushua is praying to us, and he's praying in the right name. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not calling, like, you know, y'all somebody in the world, I wanna pray over you.
Right.
You know, like, you get where they're coming from, but they lack the understanding. So you know, they say the thought that counts, well, think harder.
Yeah. Right. It's the thought that counts. Think harder, man.
It says, I pray not for the world. See? Yahushua is not praying for the world of Israel. Okay?
And that's a cut too, because everybody say God loved the whole world.
Yep.
You know, you even got Jakes that are even though they're Israelites, but they're still not chosen. So how much? So if that's that, so
to
how
be
much?
Delivered.
Right, to be delivered.
I know
Thank you for clarifying that. To be delivered.
Yeah.
So how can I equate to the whole world with every nation?
Exactly.
Even though there's Jakes among each nation, but not literally every nation. Not the heathen Gentiles.
Like what the point you're saying is. So here it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. Here it is. Israel's chosen, and you're saying even amongst the chosen, not every Israelite is set up to be chosen out of here.
Right.
But then non-heathen they can get in.
Exactly.
It don't make sense, bro. It don't make sense. That's and that doctrine that they use. That's a white Eurocentric Judean Western Christian doctrine.
Yeah.
That's only found in this time zone. Yeah. See, a lot of you people don't realize the shit that you deem normal is only taking place in this time zone.
Exactly.
And people ain't doing that shit 12 hours north from here, bro.
Exactly, bro.
You gotta fucking zoom out a little bit. You're too caught up in Babylon, bitch.
That's that wine.
Yep.
That's that wine.
People,
they approach the scriptures with a Western mindset.
Thank you.
This book is not from the West. This book is from the East.
Yeah.
That's why people, when they see us bring the scriptures out, they have a cognitive dissonance.
Yep.
They can't agree. But ultimately, the Lord's not dealing with you.
Nope.
You know, the Lord is dealing with his men, his servants.
John 17:9, it says, I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. See, so there's a relationship between the elect and Yahweh Shem Shai that we ourselves don't even know. That's why it says looking through the window. You know what I mean? Like, brothers, man, if you're of the elect, like, do you understand the magnitude of that? Like, even just, I'll just say this, but even the fact that you're an Israelite, you good. You were an elect, but there's an elect within an elect.
Yeah.
So all of us are the elect because we're the elected nation.
But within the elected nation, there's the elected section.
Exactly. We want to be out of the elected nation. We want to be the elected, chosen from the nation. You know, chosen out of this to be one out of the 12,000 of a tribe.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be one of them. That's it.
Because the letters, Galatians 6 and 16, speaks about the Israel of the Most High. You know?
Let me finish this. This is John 17 and 20. Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word. So see, for the brothers and sisters that just believe and that are home, listening, praying, being sincere, hey, man, the Yahushua is praying for you too. You know? And the Lord has a spirit on us where we care for Yahushua's sheep. You know, we get it, brothers situations, sister situations, you know, and that's why the best thing to be is just be sincere within it all, you know, because we're all collectively waiting to be delivered. We all gonna see each other in the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's right. Gotta cook them.
Sure. Yep. No. I was just collecting my thoughts. So then after your precept, we're back in 2nd Ezra 9. Okay. Or Jeremiah. We didn't finish. We got to finish
Jeremiah and Ezra 9.
And then we got to hit Exodus 12 too.
Yep. This is Galatians 6 and 16. It says, and as many as walk according to this rule, peace peace be on them and mercy and upon the Israel of the Most High. And the NLT, it says, may the Most High's peace and mercy be upon all who live by this principle.
Oh, see, that's what brothers say, Shalom.
Right.
Sometimes you gotta say what's being said in the Lashwan Kodash in English. Oh, that brother just blessed me.
Yeah.
That brother just said, bless me.
Yeah.
Who's blessing us in the world? Who's saying peace unto us in the world? You gotta really appreciate what you're a part of, man. You've been allowed to go through a door where you're actually accepted. Then the difference is you got Jakes in the world that now know they're Israelites and they just accepted that while being back in the world.
Yeah, that's not good.
We're actually attempting to serve the Lord as Israelites and not just walking around looking for servants because we are Israelites.
That's right.
We're serving first, you know?
That's right.
That's, remember Yahushua, he washed Peter's feet?
Yeah.
You know, he served. He served first. You know what I mean? So we're priests. We're actually the priests because we're serving by what? Doing the work. You know?
Seriously, bro. The priesthood.
Thank you, bro.
Right. Oh, it says you shall be a nation of kings and priests.
So imagine watching another camp. You know how long you be waiting? You be bound to Drizzle. You would go into the world. Because it's like, well, I'm waiting for my shepherd. So while he's not going live today, I'm going to go wander off.
Well,
so
exactly,
with the daily lessons constantly, that's the shepherding, keeping the sheep in line. Like every time you see a notification, hey, that could remind you in a situation.
Yeah.
You could be in a situation in the flesh and you look down and you see a video like, oh shit. And it's like a spiritual reminder.
Yeah.
You know? So hey, you ain't getting this nowhere else. Ain't nobody else checking on us, loving us like this. You got it, bro.
That's right. It says the love of the Father, it says, what's that, Isaiah? Where it
yes,
says,
yes, bro, exactly.
The love of the
Can a woman forget her sucking child? Yes,
Yep.
but the Father will not forget you.
Yep.
We're not forgotten. That's why we got to keep reading Jeremiah. How do you know we're not forgotten? The sun rose.
That's right.
How do you know we're not forgotten? The moon set.
Yep.
Okay? That's how you know we're not forgotten.
Even like when we're in ancient Egypt, the Lord heard our groans because he remembered the covenant.
Yep.
You know, not like he forgot, but us crying out, you know, it's like, oh, I have to deliver my people.
Yep.
You know, so how much more in today's new Egypt? You see?
Exactly. So we're on a deliverance mission, and that's why even the women being bound to us, they'll be delivered too. It's like the ark, bro.
Exactly.
This is serious business. This is serious, like, man, like, and you know how you know it's serious business? Because the world is used to brown people blowing up.
Yep.
The world is not used to a so-called white woman, you know, be thrashed or seeing a white child. Imagine seeing what you see happen to Jake or see what happens to other heathens and not only happen to the Edomites.
Right.
People can't even stomach seeing the mark of Cain be slain.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Y'all think that one time when those Jakes beat up the group of Edomites when they was swimming and shit and by the harbor, I think that was something. Wait till these nuclear missiles come. You know, slavery's coming for Esau. You know, back in Jeremiah 31 and where was it at? 35. It says, "Thus said the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divided the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord hosts yet the water."
Yeah.
That word is crazy to read sometimes for me. It says the Lord of hosts is his name, Yahweh Shema Shai. If those ordinances depart from before me, said the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
Wow.
And we know that that's not never going to happen when it comes to the sun and the moon. So right there's a statement saying, the Lord is saying, hey, these are my people forever. So that right there is a cut. Because now remember how that one time the heathen was it Esau when it was saying the people are back in the land, like it was like 2019. They're all coming off the airplane with Moab.
I think it was called like Operation Cornelius.
Something, yes.
Serious.
And they were trying to say that this prophecy has been fulfilled. Yeah. Like, come on, that's BS.
But what they did was they also they cut themselves because what you just opened up was the fact that the true children are scattered. You just grabbed the wrong ones.
Right.
So you admitted that they're scattered.
Right.
Now you're just trying to say that these were them.
Come on, man.
I got something real quick. So it said the moon be departed from me.
Yeah.
So basically, so if somebody who is not the chosen, then to be chosen, wouldn't one want to destroy what solidifies the chosen is?
Yeah.
So guess what? This proves Esau ain't the chosen, like we know. I asked, did someone recommend to blow up the moon?
Oh, what? Oh, man.
So I said, look at this. Maybe you can see that or screenshot it or Google it. It says, yes, in the 1950s, the U.S. Air Force developed a top secret plan named Project A119 to detonate a nuclear bomb on the moon. What? The 1950s plan aimed to boost American morale and demonstrate military superiority during the Cold War space race.
That's ridiculous. Esau wanted to blow the moon up?
To show dominance during the Cold War.
You fucking idiot.
What would happen to the Earth if the moon was destroyed? You wouldn't be able to survive. It says if the moon was destroyed, Earth would face immediate catastrophic debris bombardment followed by long-term environmental collapse. Tides would shrink 75%, disrupting marine life. Earth would become unstable, leading to extreme, unpredictable season changes, while nighttime darkness would significantly impact nocturnal ecosystems.
Oh.
This dude's a fucking... Yo.
See, that proves he's the right horse.
Yes.
Take peace from the earth, bro. Come on, man. So here it is, the Lord is saying, you know, he's being, what's the word? Is it like facetious?
Yeah, exactly.
In that context?
Exactly.
Because obviously, you know, that's never going to change. But him being the devil, he's like, well, I can change that.
Exactly.
And that's why he said, real quick, what's that? It's in Isaiah and Thessalonians, but I got to get the one Thessalonians.
What?
Where it says, you sit in the temple as the Most High.
Oh, yep, 2 Thessalonians. Oh, yeah, and I will sit amongst the stars in Isaiah 13.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'm going to sit. He points at the moon and says, I'm going to destroy that.
Man.
Esau's dumb. When you actually think about the things he's saying he wants to do, it's like what they call pride. Like, he's got, like, beer muscles.
Yeah.
Like, I'll hold this M80 in my hand and blow it up just to show that I'm tough.
Oh, my goodness,
like, you're an idiot.
Fucking idiot, man.
I'll blow up the moon just to say that I could.
Oh, we'll say he's the basis of man.
Exactly.
He's very primitive.
He has like a pissing contest demon.
Yeah,
that's why he's always in competition with you. And that's a trait women be having too. Like, what you in competition with me for? You want to chill? You want to play the game? She mashing the buttons. Like, yo, I thought we
Chill
was... Yo!
You can't beat me.
Yo, because it's like their spirit, the demon on them is because we are the superior.
It's pride.
That's pride, bro. Because they show you where, if we were nothing, if we weren't superior, they wouldn't be trying to beat you in all facets.
Exactly, right.
You like, I was just trying to play pickup. This Moabite going OD. Like,
yeah, he bumping you.
Because he's in his head, I'm going to beat this black guy.
Yeah.
And then to him, that's a victory.
Right, right. Exactly. Like, yeah, there you go. Exactly. But that's why, but that further proves the crafty counsel.
Yep.
You see, it says that we may cut off Israel and that they may be no more in remembrance.
So that proves these nations have no problem being in league with Esau against us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They have no problem. Like, oh, the black? Oh, yeah. They all know.
Yeah.
They all know. They all are fine grouping up against Judah.
Oh, exactly. Speaking of Judah, every time I read that scripture, I think of the movie, the scene in the movie, what's called...
Drink Juice?
No, not that one. Judas and the Black Messiah. Remember in that dark ass room they had that council about was it Fred Hampton? They were all in that big ass stadium.
With the FBI?
Yeah, remember? I'm like, damn.
Yep, exactly.
That was a real ass scene.
Exactly.
But it just goes to show, and that was one Jake.
Exactly.
That's just one tribe.
What happened and it happened in 1969, by the way, when he claimed the land on the moon too.
Man, that was the year the truth came out.
Exactly.
Come on, man. So Esau, you can't do nothing against the truth before.
Yep.
Real quick, 2 Thessalonians 2.
They say that was the year when the internet was first used.
Yep.
Because I believe the internet was actually for the military. There's some, I gotta verify it. They were even saying that the reason why there's an escape button on the keyboard is because of nuclear.
Oh
Like
shit.
that, I gotta verify it. But basically, they were saying some guy had to create a kill switch if a launch ever took place, so that they could like opt out of it or something.
Oh wow.
So the keyboard or whatever. But I know the internet was used for military first, and then they gave it to the general public.
Wow. Yep. Okay, let's see here.
But that's where the truth was found at.
Yep.
What were you reading?
This is
Were you looking for something?
Yeah, I was looking it up for you.
What you got?
See if it was
Is there anything?
I'm still looking.
Let me see about the escape.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Is there anything about the escape button on the keyboard being made to stop a nuclear launch? Like I said, I gotta verify. There's so much information. Yeah, see, it says there's no evidence of it. But then look, okay, look right here. So it says there's no evidence of it, but then when you go on social media will show you something different. That's why you gotta fact check everything. Let me see. I thought I screenshotted it, or I took a picture of it. Yeah. See, look right here. This is what. See.
Oh.
So I found this on the internet, and I'll read it to you. It says the escape button on your keyboard was literally designed to cancel nuclear launches. Every time you press escape to close a frozen browser tab, you are using Cold War military hardware.
Wow.
Okay. It says. In 1960, IBM programmer Bob Biermer invented the escape key. During early military computing, machines processed code entirely linearly. Once a command sequence started, it could not be stopped. So let me see now. So let's ask Bob Burner. Let me ask. In the 1960s, why did IBM Bob Burner create the escape button? So it's like, where'd they get that from? Who made the escape key? All right. Oh wow, you can't even read this thing. I gotta pay him $1 to read. Jeez. First you didn't let me read. Now I gotta pay you $1 to read. Make your mind up, you devil. That's a devil. Now I'm gonna beat you for breathing, and now I'm gonna sell you breath.
No mercy.
So I didn't see anything.
But that makes sense though.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things that was that are now normal to the public were first made for the military.
Yep.
Like you said with the was it the computer?
Well, let me ask. Yeah, you got
the highway.
What are certain things that were first only made for the military and then granted public use, such as highways, internet, cell phone, things of that nature? Give me a list of informative facts actually that were for the military first that are now for everyday public use.
Or the microwave. GPS.
The microwave, yeah. Transportation, the internet, or excuse me, interstate highway. The interstate highway was specifically built in the 1950s mainly for rapid troop movement and evacuation routes. So the reason why your ass gets to fucking drive on the highway, my way, nigga don't even baller. You don't even know, nigga. You on a road that's for specifically meant for troops to shoot your ass. See, communication, the internet, GPS, and cell phone technology that was literally made for the military first. Pause it, screenshot it, hit it reverse, whatever you got to do.
So
look
now,
it up.
So now I'm speaking as a man right now. So now now I'm wondering. They got me to think. Now those things were made with, for the military, but now are normal to the public. How much more the MLT be?
Woo!
Because remember that Jake came up to camp years ago, and he was saying that he may have got
from the military.
From the military,
yeah.
But then remember the other video we seen a couple years ago, how they were going through that military, those troops, just with that
vacuum, that air compressor thing.
Yeah, but it was like
jetpack.
Yeah. So it's like, come on, man.
Factory, basically he could factory line C-hip you.
Exactly. You don't think those troops are not, C-hipped up?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Jeep vehicles originally designed for military transport. So now you drive Jeeps.
Yep.
Esau with his fucking one leg out.
Yep.
And then they got the ducks on the dashboard. You people are dumb, man.
And now Jake drives what was called the fucking SRTs and the scat packs.
Oh, those are.
Drones.
Drones, computers early computers like ENIAC were built to calculate artillery trajectories.
Oh, shit.
So, you were right, brother. Microwave ovens. Microwave ovens discovered accidentally when radar technology, military, melted food led to home micro.
That's crazy.
Yo, wait a minute. Hold on. So he accidentally, while shooting, melted something and was like, well, I'll be damned. We could heat up dinner with this.
That
nigga drinks juice through a barrel of a gun.
Man.
Then he's like, this is how we came up with straws.
Yo.
That's crazy. So duct tape, originally created to seal ammunition cases, now used for everything. So you duct tape. You mean to tell me that this is a militarized country, and that's why he is Rome.
Right. Exactly. Right.
That's why he has to give you bread and circus.
Right. Exactly. Because it said what's the quote? It says, "Get them food and the bread and circus,
Yep.
and people will never revolt."
Yep. Ray-Bans, glasses.
Oh wow! Now they got Meta Ray-Bans.
Now you got ASAP Rocky promoting Ray-Bans.
Oh,
so
yeah,
put a nigga behind it.
Yep.
And here, Luda, show him Movado.
No, seriously.
But you don't know what time it is.
Seriously.
Cargo pants.
Oh yeah.
See?
I'm not surprised with that.
That's a lot of stuff, bro.
This is like everyday use, everyday items.
Exactly.
You know?
From the everyday devil.
Man.
Right? Where were we at?
2 Thessalonians.
Perfect. See?
We going in about how he wanted to shoot the moon. How you gonna shoot the moon?
See?
2 Thessalonians 2. See, this is the devil.
He's a devil.
If not, where and who is he?
Exactly.
2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 4. I'm sorry, 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first."
Yeah, the believers and always were like, is this the time?
Right.
You know, like just like is this the time? So Lord's will, this is the time. We believe it. It has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is lining up. Everything that needs to be lined up is lining up.
Mm-hmm.
But the believers always had that in their spirit. Like, so Apostle Paul had to comfort the brothers like, look, there's going to be a falling away first. Don't let nobody deceive you. Because even back then, you had everybody talking. A lot of people that got a motor mouth is because it's a demon pressing the gas pedal.
Yeah.
They're a lot. That's women. She got demons on her.
Shut up.
That's why she has energy to do that.
Yeah, it's a demon.
It's a demon that's energizing you. Like people who are musicians, people that world tour. You got to have a spirit on you. Like you mentioned last camp, the girl in Civil War. The spirit of journalism left her.
Yeah.
Because she left Peter Parker. If you would have stayed with Spider-Man, he would have saved her.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Right, like it wasn't intriguing to her anymore.
Yep.
It wasn't like it. That thrill was gone.
Yep.
That spirit left her. And then you peep, because remember in that movie Civil War, the other girl, they had the black horse shirt on.
Yeah.
She was like that.
Yeah.
But then she became more intrigued. You seen the spirit left her and hopped in her.
Yep.
You see, so but back in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, it says, "Except they come a falling away first,"
which we fell away.
Mm-hmm.
Which was that's why Yahweh Shai mentioned what's found in Daniel 9.
Oh yeah.
Going into 70 weeks, the Babylon to leading up to Yahweh Shai, the no stone unturned. That was all what happened from 70 AD ultimately, but I think it started like 66 AD?
66 AD.
And then and then the major event happened. See? Like even that. So like, okay, this pops off, but then it wasn't until years later that happened.
Yeah, because before that you had when Nero, he had blamed the fire on us, and then after that, then
he died. He committed suicide, and then someone else was raised up, and then it was a Jake with him. I gotta brush up on my memory so I don't get the name wrong. Titus Vespasia.
Titus. I forgot how to pronounce his last name.
But the point is, it was under that rulership that they went in and destroyed us. And the last hold was the Masada.
Vespasian.
Titus
Vespasian.
Thank you. And then that's when the Sakari, they made a pact to kill their wives and children. That shit hurts my heart hearing about that, man. Like, that's our women, our children. That's our prized possession, But that all happened. And that's why Yahweh Shai told his men, flee to the mountain. So right now, we're all being told things by Yahweh Shai through the Holy Spirit that not every Israelite is going to hear or take heed to, and they're going to fall when that flood comes.
That's right.
Just like back then,
Because these leaders of these other certain camps, they're not warning the congregation that they have. So
yeah, they're not putting the right spirit on them, and that's gonna be shame to them. You got it.
And it says 2 Thessalonians 2:3, and it says, except there come a falling away first.
70 AD, and that's what led to 1969. 350 years, 1619 to 1969. Then the breath of life was breathed into us. Then we got Elijah came back, and that was John the Baptist heralding Yahushua again. And then this time it was through what? The Holy Spirit. Yep. So the Lord had everything play out again, but through the Holy Spirit. And it started in Harlem. When you hear about, like, when you look, even look at the GMS website, even look at the Hebrew packets, like when you look back at even the schools, like the Lord had a spirit on our elders. Like, you gotta have the inspiration of the Lord on you to be doing these things. And there's a lot of legwork that was done that we entered into. It was labor. It was labor. It says we entered into their labor. And we've entered into something that the Lord has already been happening even before some of us were born.
Hell
I wasn't born in 1969 or 79.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, bro. That's all Lord. It's to put that spirit out there for men to come up with the elders come up with the 12 tribe chart and the last round Kodash like that, bro. Where would you start?
The doctrine.
The doctrine, like,
the understanding.
That's the Lord.
That's why it gets me mad when hearing anybody saying anything.
Yeah, bro.
Like even though they're necessary evil, but like like the vocab alone, like how dare you? But what's crazy to me is how come this, even though they call us Black Hebrew Israelites, how is this not separated from any other form of Black culture that Esau's not allowed to touch?
Right.
Even Jake gets on DJ Vlad for being a culture vulture, but for some reason, a so-called white man can still fucking open his mouth when it comes to something with us. Like, ain't that some shit, man?
Yeah.
But don't say nigga again. You better not say nigga again. Right? He said it the first time, but he don't say it again. But then he could say whatever he wants about us. Or Jake's talking shit.
Oh, that's why it says the last day scoffers shall come.
And we were supposed to start with 2 Peter 3. We literally were going to start with that. See?
And it's back in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, and it says, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Edom, that man of sin had to be revealed. Him specifically. Because you got to think, even in the time of Rome, you always had other nations, but Esau was a dominant nation. But he was calling himself Romans. Remember, because the Romans come from Japhet, Romulus, Remus and Romulus. Europe comes from Europa. So and going back to the Greeks, he made himself the Greeks.
Yeah.
I think it came from Macedon, bro.
Yeah.
He came from Chittim. For real.
Man, Esau nasty ass.
Because he's always trying to hide his identity.
Yep.
Like, what was that movie? That movie with Ethan Hawke, I think it's called Identity, with Angelina Jolie. No. There's a movie with Ethan Hawke and Angelina Jolie where she's a FBI agent looking for a serial killer, and what he does is he takes the identity of his victims.
Oh yeah, damn.
Let me look it up.
Yes,
Identity, Ethan Hawke. But my point is, that's what Esau does. Oh, Taking Lives.
Okay.
It's called Taking Lives. So in the movie Taking Lives, Esau takes identity. It should be called Taking Identities.
Identity theft.
He's an identity thiever.
And he took our identity.
Literally. He put on and said, I'm Jacob.
Literally, bro.
And
it reads verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all.
See, I'm God.
That is called the Most High, or that is worshipped.
And he gets the authority right now to be the final sayer of truth. And let me just add this in. Esau's breakdowns are garbage. They're hot fucking garbage. Okay. And you Christians, you so-called Christians, all right, you're the reason for all the wickedness. Because he does things in the name of God. But what God? Who's your God? And we found out your God is who you call Lucifer. And Lucifer just means light bearer. Hence why you call yourself the Illuminati. And who you know as Lucifer, his name is Shaitan, who works for Yahweh Shai. So you're in a trick bag, buddy. So every demonic thing you do, all the rusty nails you need, everything you use is already being told to Yahweh Shem Shai. Satan up there telling on your ass, bro.
You are done, bro.
You're done.
That's why we had earlier rejoice and be glad.
Exactly.
I'm tired of looking at Edomites, bro.
Yes.
I know you got Jakes out there that look like Edomites, but I'm saying I'm tired of looking of dealing with pure Edomites. Like their spirit is an Edomite.
Pure. And you want to know how you know there's a pure Edomite? Because they're always like weak, frail, weird, bland, base, awkward, proud.
Yeah.
It's crazy. This nigga will have the newest truck. He'll have everything new in a nasty, beaten body, though. You know?
Right. Big ass gut.
Nasty gut.
And y'all just 2-time losers.
Just completely through with good credit. Remember, it says a better estate. That's us and him. Better of a health of a good estate than many riches.
Yep.
So here it is. We got good health, and this nigga's mad rich. But he's like, you're through.
Man.
He's on his 4th heart transplant. Remember that one devil?
Oh yeah, not Evelyn Rothschild. I forgot his name,
Other
but
one,
yeah. A Rockefeller. One
He
of
had
two.
like multiple.
Like 7 or 8.
Bro, John Q.
Yeah.
Jay came and get one. And he needs one.
Yeah,
but this nigga could get 7, 8 of them.
Come on, bro. 7 or 8. Yeah, it's time for you to go.
But that proves what we're reading right now. We wouldn't have this spirit on us if the Lord didn't give us that to us through this fulfillment. So read that again, please.
It says, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. Excuse me. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped.
This nigga will, excuse me, you got me too. This nigga, no.
It's contagious.
I know. He'll create a fucking hell house that he calls a hospital and name it like St. Jude, but in his death.
Yeah.
Right or right though?
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
Bro, that shit, I don't like hospitals, bro.
And I believe, going to the hospital, I believe that word means a hotel.
Oh, yep, it is.
When you look at the etymology, because like a hotel, they charge you.
Yep.
So like a hospital, even a fucking ambulance ride, they charge you, bro.
If the lights are on.
That's crazy.
It's a feature.
Even for the fuck is called the Medicab.
You want economy or premium?
That's crazy, man.
So my health, so my well-being is determined based off my income.
Literally.
That's crazy.
Like all you gotta do.
That's Elysium.
Yeah, exactly with Matt Damon, right? Great movie. All you gotta do is go inside the hospital. Not saying we do this, but it's like you check in, you sit in the room, wait for a doctor. He sends you off. You're waiting like 10 minutes, and they send you a bill for $2,000.
No.
That's crazy.
No, you wait for like 5 hours first.
Yeah.
And then you get some woman who checks your vitals, and then you might get a doctor who might be skeptical of what you got going on.
For 10 minutes.
Yep.
He checking for 10 minutes.
Yep.
But that's but back to the point.
But then this woman, she vlogged her experience at a Chinese hospital, and I think she was in and out in under 27 minutes, bro. So these other nations are putting Edom to shame too, man.
Oh yeah, bro.
You gotta understand, these other nations, they it's like going back to a relationship. They finally now said, you know what, F this whore, man.
Mm-hmm.
And now you'll meet that man and he's better. He's not all, worried about Felicia anymore. He looks healthier. You know what I mean? And she's still over there being the same ghetto bag,
Mm-hmm. Seriously.
Babylon is ghetto, man.
Yeah.
Esau is ghetto. They're thugs. They're criminals. The only thing he's got going for him right now is the mark of Cain, and that now is becoming a precursor.
Shit played out.
Like now it's becoming a target.
Yeah.
Like now it's like we can look and tell you who the devil is.
Yeah. And it says.
So you Jakes that look like Esau, you gotta prove yourself.
Right.
Fuck out of here. You ain't about to double win. you the flashiest Edomite looking nigga in the gym over there, and then you gonna come over here with us and be proud. Hell nah.
There you at.
Now we're gonna do a lesson on melanin. Nah, I'm just playing.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 4 it says, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High.
See, and that's what proves how you know when it's a Jake that looks like an Edomite. Because you know how Esau is. Jake's very lively. So Jakes that look like Edomites, they dominate amongst Edomites because they're not an Edomite.
Mm-hmm.
They just look like one,
Yep. back in Jeremiah or Exodus 12.
Did we finish Jeremiah 31, 38?
Oh, no.
So finish that and then go back to the measuring.
Yep.
And then we can go into Exodus 12, Baba Kashab.
This is Jeremiah 31 and verse, I was at...
38? 30?
No, I was 36.
Okay, because then we brought up that fun fact.
Yep, about Esau trying to blow the moon up. That's crazy.
A top secret plan.
That's crazy, bro.
Just to show dominance.
Come on. He got to go in slavery.
So it's like, I'll kill more black people than you.
Oh, man. He got to be stopped, bro.
Yeah, he's got to be stopped.
No, he got to be stopped.
He don't got no elder. Like, you know what I mean? He's just a raging child, man.
Oh, it says that. It says
a child
woeful, child left to himself.
Woeful. Yep. He's left to himself.
Jeremiah 31 and 36. If those ordinances depart from before me, said the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. You know that's never going to happen.
Nope.
Thus said the Lord, if heaven above can be measured and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath.
It says the Lord's mercy is as his throne, and it says his throne is inestimable.
Yep. Inestimable.
Inestimable. So you can't. But then Esau's sitting somewhere actually paying someone to count sand. And then he came up with sextillion.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah. Yep.
A million, billion, trillion. And then there's sextillion. Do you know they did a fun fact and said if you had $1 billion and you spent 10,000 of that every single day of your life, it would take 24 years to run out of money?
Oh, shit.
You could spend $10,000 a day and it would still take over 2 decades to run out of money.
That's wild, bro. Wow. See? And Esau, Esau has the ability to
fix everything.
Like they say, they fix everything. What's that shit called? Word hunger?
Elysium.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Remember?
Yeah.
When he finally uploaded, everybody was considered a citizen.
Yes.
And all those machines came down to fix them.
Yes. Damn, bro.
That's like the angels.
Man. Yep. Back in Jeremiah 31, 37, it says, thus said the Lord, if heaven...
Oh, did you finish Thessalonians, all of that? You didn't want to get then he'll be consumed?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't we get that?
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that because the spirit's got us still on Edom right now. So we should finish the meat, like I say, get all the meat off the bone.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to get that real quick.
Yep. Let me keep going. Back in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 5, it says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things.
See, you got to be reminded. So Apostle Paul's reminding the brothers in Thessalonica, which now being written down and the Lord ordaining his word to be preserved, we get to read that now, as it's put in this form, Keep going.
And it says, and now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in this time.
See, so everything had to play out. Now he's being fully revealed. And what's heavy is he's being revealed to the world, and now the world is looking at him as basically a Debo can bleed.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the world is not looking at Esau as the same Edomite from the 90s, man. Okay, that suit and tie, it's not working anymore. The threats aren't working. Okay, all the shit that used to work ain't working no more. So now he's got a terrible offense.
Mm-hmm.
His plays ain't working no more. People already, so that's what makes sense why he's gonna have to cut the internet.
Yeah.
Because they're like, of course you're gonna say drones were stolen. Like everybody, like the new governor for Virginia, everybody in the comments were putting juice boxes. Amalek.
Yeah.
Everybody's hip to him.
Yep.
Everybody's hip to Amalek now.
Yep.
There was a time where all you thought Amalek was, at most, was a middle-aged married man with one child in the suburbs, or a quiet banker. That's how he presented himself for a long time. And now you're finding out, Amalek's gangster. Amalek's a killer. Amalek's an aggressor. He's in the ear of your government. Okay, so now people are being very well aware of Edom now. And not just Edom, Amalek of Edom as well.
That's right. That's why it says, truth shall flourish, and evil shall be quenched out.
Yep.
Because it says knowledge shall increase. So being that the Lord has raised up his men, then evidently people are waking up. So it's like, you know, being that knowledge is increased, you're being exposed, you know, day by day.
Bro, people come to my camp and they'll go, that makes sense.
Yeah, literally.
They'll be like, yeah, I'll go with that.
Yep.
So there you go.
Come on, man. Being exposed, man. Back in 2 Thessalonians 2, oh, that's why he says he shall be revealed.
Exactly.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 6. And now you know what hold of that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. And it's funny too, because when, you know, this was in the time of that region of Rome and Esau, and it's funny because we're back in Rome all over again.
Exactly.
So he's being revealed, you know.
That's why I said it exercised the power of the first beast.
Right.
See?
Right, yeah. That makes sense. And it says, for the mystery of iniquity.
The dragon, the Roman Empire, this same empire that was murdering young Israelite babies looking for Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
Yeah.
I remember going back in middle school reading about they said it was the Romans, but in history, in the scriptures, we know of the Greeks. I remember when they were teaching us about the Romans nailing babies to floors.
Damn.
But I didn't know, now being in the truth, that those babies were Israelites.
That was us, right?
That was us because we were circumcised, man.
Yeah.
So that's going back. So he killed us for being circumcised. Now he circumcises us before the 8th day and pumps us full of vitamin K. This fucking devil, he don't make his mind up. So he killed you for being circumcised, and then now he circumcises you as soon as you come out.
See?
Even the creature groans.
And it's he doing his rounds.
Yeah.
And it says back in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 7, it says, only he who now letteth will let
The Lord.
until he be taken out of the way.
So this guy's getting ready to be, this guy's getting ready to be taken out the way, man. A Vandeville hook.
That's right, yeah, bro.
Okay?
Get him up out of here.
You're gonna beat the suit off of him. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like, it's gonna be beautiful, man. Esau going in captivity is about to be monumental, man.
And personally, I'm tired of looking at Edomites.
Yes.
Did I say that earlier?
Yeah.
I'm tired of like just, you know, just them being
Bland
like their
and
existence.
boring and corny and useless.
That's why I see why there's a prophecy in Obadiah that's gonna play out soon to exterminate Esau, the whole house of Edom.
After 1,000 years.
After 1,000 years in the kingdom, they're gonna be done away
We're
with.
gonna get out the way.
And rightfully so.
And there's actually gonna come a time where you're gonna forget about Edom.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you know, I speak as a man, maybe there'll be records or something you'll be reminded of them, but like you're not gonna. It's gonna come to a point. Like there's times where I've dealt with hell with Edomites, and then once it's finally done,
Yep.
for however long it took, I'll literally be like, I forgot they existed.
Yeah, bro.
I forgot this thing even existed, bro.
Yeah, man.
I completely forgot you existed.
It's gonna be it's gonna be a very glorious occasion.
Yes, and then we get to be on earth with the
Oh, man.
brothers. We're gonna have all of our wives and children.
An earth without Edomites?
An earth without Edom.
Man, bro, that's fire, man. Back in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8.
All the good spices.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know,
What's
Elon got some fire spices.
What's it called? Nantastic?
Nantastic.
Yeah, it's gonna be be fantastic.
Yeah, for real.
Getting the herbs, you know,
Mhm.
like pure.
Yeah.
You're gonna get pure herbs, you know, from the mountains.
The purest.
You ain't gonna have nothing with plastic or barcodes. You're gonna actually eat from silverware. The Esau proved that drinking from silver and copper actually charges the water.
Gold.
But then this nigga charges you for water.
Oh, yeah.
He charges you for water, but I could charge my water.
You can literally go out like this picture that we have on the camera. Like that lake in the picture. You can literally go out and get water. You know, but now it's like the world's so effed up, you're like, you don't know if it's tainted or not.
Bro, they said that they found that F drug, the fat.
Yeah.
They found that in Barbie toys that were still packaged.
I seen that.
Bro, guess what? They said the UK now they say that the shrimp from UK now all test positive for cocaine.
What? See, man, this is why this devil has to be destroyed, because he's on a what's the word? He's on a road of like destruction.
Yeah, he on a road of destruction.
Like that video with the cartoon, the Edomite. Everywhere he went, it was fires, destruction.
He's walked on a snake and it turned into snake boots.
Yeah.
He plants oil.
Yes.
And he's just cheering along as he's doing it.
Man, That's why it says if this place were to continue, no flesh will be saved.
Exactly.
That's why it's gonna before it gets better, it has to get worse.
For him.
Yeah, for him.
Because when you think about it, what's gonna take place that will be a scarcity of is really all this shit he conjured.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like, all right, nigga, no more Skittles. Like that's nobody want that shit anyway.
Yeah.
Like, Twinkie. Remember the whole movie? Woody Harrelson, zombie.
Oh,
all
yeah.
he looked for was those were the chemicals in them.
Yeah,
So
parasites.
there was a parasites in him. He needed the parasite to be fed. You know.
Yep. Back in 2 Thessalonians 2, and let's see here, where was that? Oh yeah, verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed.
Boom. So now everything we're saying is because he's gotten revealed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we didn't even know all this stuff. We might have known a little bit about Illuminati, but we couldn't back it biblically.
Right.
We couldn't go into the scriptures and actually use the Bible against him.
Yeah.
Like they say, throw the book at him. So now we can actually throw the book at him because we've been blessed to be able to receive this truth through the Holy Spirit and then to be raised up to be inspired to speak it at him too.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know what I mean? Everybody's just shouting at him now. You know, we're like chasing after him as a thief, like in Job 30.
Yeah.
So it's like in the spirit where we're chasing him out of rulership. But the prophecy is going to ultimately do that.
That's right. And it says, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
See, it's the Lord that's doing this. The Lord's inspire us to speak on Edom, to do lessons on them, gather information, tell the judgment, you know. So it's Yahweh Bashim Shai's time, man. This is all the Lord's will. You got it.
And shall destroy with this, my bad. It says with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
Yeah, and a lying wonder he's going to lie to you about is the mark of the beast.
And
he's going to lie your ass down too.
He's going to say it's going to help you.
Yeah.
It can heal you.
I got some information for you on the chat GPT, matter of fact. I asked it about that right here, the plot. So I basically told it to I want to make a movie. Because, you know, sometimes it won't give you information because it's illegal. But then this Jake, who's the NFL, the ChatGPT was giving him information on how to get away with murder.
Oh,
Did you hear about that? Yeah, some Jake, he bodied his woman. He bodied his woman, and then they pulled records up about how he was asking Chat what to do to get away with it. So it was giving him information for that. But if I ask about the MOTB and legally in the government, this is crossing guidelines.
He said, no, this is false.
See?
This is not real.
Esau lets you do anything you want on .com, and he watches you when it's .gov.
Oh, yeah.
.com's cool, but .gov, oh, no, what are you doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Edomite with sunglasses and a suit comes out to stop you.
Yep.
So, what did you say about what were we saying? Oh, lie to you? Lying winners? Okay.
MOTB, yep.
So, guess what they said? One of the ways that they could implement on a real stage, the MOTB, would be a global health crisis 2.0, a bovine situation.
Oh, right.
Remember,
Right.
Remember Yahushua said pestilence.
Right.
So you should be expecting some form of a pestilence coming back. It would make sense.
Yeah, I've been seeing brothers make videos about that.
Was there ever any major viruses or diseases going on during a world war? Let's ask Google. Remember the Spanish flu? Oh, look, right here. Yes. Look at, look at this, brothers. Look at this. Yes, major pandemics occurred during world wars, most notably the 1918 influenza pandemic, Spanish flu, which killed worldwide during World War I. So during a world war, they also suffered from a pestilence.
Oh yeah, so bro, that's call lawyer about small shy. And now you can easily see that.
And guess what? How they would implement it to fix it?
The
digital health ID, eventually upgraded to implant C-HIP for instant verification. People accept it because it saved lives. It prevents lockdowns. Then it says movie tension. Main character refuses, can't travel, work, or buy.
Well, remember the movie Songbird?
Yep.
Back in But 2020, how convenient.
The Amazon driver.
Yep, and it was called Bovid 23.
Yes.
Remember?
Yep.
Remember, it was called Bovid 19.
Yep.
But then it went from that to 23.
Yep.
Esau show you things. It was what's called Operation Mockingbird predictive programming.
Yep. Guess what the next one is? Global financial collapse.
Oh.
A crash worse than 2008 hits worldwide. Do you know that's happening right now?
Yeah, bro.
Do you know that that's actually happening right now? And analysts are actually saying this situation could be worse than the global financial crisis of 2008.
Oh, sure.
They're literally saying that right now in real time. This isn't just a hypothetical conversation with artificial intelligence, okay? It says a crash worse than 2008 hits worldwide. So what we're reading is scenarios to lead into the MOTB, and it will be through his lying wonders. It says how it unfolds. Banks freeze withdrawals, currency becomes unstable, digital fraud skyrockets. Leaders respond by introduce a new global digital currency.
Oh, wow.
And requires biometric or CHIP based ID to access funds. Right now, I forgot to ask how many devices or everyday use items are used right now with biometric. iPad, iPhone, cell phone, biometric thumbprint for the to log into certain computers.
Wearables. Yep.
This is all right now. Biometrics is now a normal everyday function in society that he's been slowly getting you ready for.
Yeah, bro.
It says
gradualism.
Yep. It says pitch to the public. This prevents fraud. This stabilizes the economy.
It said pitch to the public?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So he's going to introduce us to the public. What he's doing right now, but through gradualism, slowly but surely.
But he needs a boogeyman.
Right.
To give you the cape.
Right.
Mass cyber attack.
Wow. Order out of chaos.
Order out of chaos. Wow. Exactly. So cyber attack. They could do a cyber attack and blame Persia.
Well, shit, right now over there in Cuba is a blackout.
Yeah.
So how much more over here in Babylon?
Yeah.
But nobody's talking about that. Mainstream media.
Nope. And there's some beautiful, cute Manasseh women.
Oh yeah.
So that's a precursor to what's gonna happen in Babylon. You know how many? Those are Manassites.
Yeah.
A Cuban woman in America is like a trophy.
Yeah.
So now you got a beautiful women dealing with blackouts amongst wild men.
What you think is gonna happen?
What you think's happening?
Right, exactly. So that's happening, right? Exactly.
It's happening.
So how much? Because that's why he says Isaiah 4:1. That's coming soon.
We're about to enter a time where you're gonna finally say, without blinking, "It's happening, bro."
Yeah, bro.
No, it's happening.
This is it.
It's finally happening. War plus martial law scenario. Global conflicts force tighter control. War breaks out between major powers. Fear of spies and teaism.
Wow.
You know the teaism.
It ain't tenderism. That's other
yeah. While you niggas are talking about tenderism, he's getting ready for terrorism.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Mandatory tracking for movement, communication. CHIP becomes national security tool.
See that's the ultimate surveillance. He wants to have total domination over the masses.
And guess what they said? The key is for his lying wonders.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks it's evil at first.
See? That's how he gets you.
People say it's just temporary. It's for safety.
Wow.
It's optional. Then slowly, optional equals necessary, which equals mandatory. Just like toll booths, remember? Those were only set up for a certain time.
Yeah.
And then the only reason they finally got rid of them because he gave you Skynet. He put Skynet now when you drive, and now you're getting scanned by a machine that now sends data to some server, and they decide depending on what the numbers show how harshly to treat you.
Exactly, bro. Because remember, like you said, toll booths, they was there when the humans, we had to pay the human to go to the next city and whatnot. But now, like you said, all you gotta do is drive through. So they just scan the car and boom, and then you get sent the bill in the mail.
And now you won't be able to. Guess what, bro? This Edomite woman, this was judgment. I said this is judgment. This Edomite woman, she got arrested because of a facial recognition that deemed her the suspect of a identity theft in a bank in like a whole nother state. Wow. Do you know the police came, arrested her because of what this facial recognition system said? They arrested her for 5 mother effing months and then released her on Christmas Eve because they found out she wasn't the person. She lost her home. She lost her car. She lost her mobile home. She lost her Social Security. She lost like her dog. She lost everything in it. So Esau allowed a computer to determine if this was who they were looking for, and it took 5 fucking months for humans to finally figure out that this was the wrong person, and then they just let her go.
Wow.
This shit is garbage, man. This place is...
See, Esau's technology has watered down people's way of thinking.
It's a digital prison, bro.
Yeah, bro.
It's nothing but fences, and then you're sitting there in front of this screen as this blue circle spinning with a mob of angry customers trying to fucking get approved for something.
They're all waiting just like you're waiting. But they're mad at you, but not the system Esau created.
Lying wonders, bro. What you got?
Real quick, this is Job 20 and verse 12. It says, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, like it said, I'm here to help, blah, blah, right? Though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth.
Wow.
So he's declaring war on you people. Starting with Jake.
And he keeps the truth under his tongue.
Yeah.
And then tells you and spits out lies.
Yeah.
That's what he does, man.
Here I have this C-hip to heal you. But then 2 days later, now you're dead.
And he has he has what they were saying, the cojones to do it too. Yeah. Like he's not afraid of lying to you, man. AI's been found to be racist. Yep.
Shalom, how about Shem
Exactly.
A few sisters.
And AI's been found to be racist. And then when they asked AI to draw itself, it drew itself as an old Amalek man.
Oh yeah. Yup, I remember that.
And then remember when they were asking AI to draw the end of the world?
Yeah.
Remember all that?
It was 2 Edomites with a selfie.
So, yep.
Man, this place is done. Back in they want second Exodus 9, right?
Yeah.
In Exodus 12?
Yeah.
Okay, back in 2nd Exodus 9 and 1, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
So even with everything happening, we're also adding in what we're getting ready to partake in, being the Passover, as part of measuring the time. All this is happening and around Passover. So that's the spiritual significance. Hence why when we always mention when it's a blood moon or a solar eclipse, or things of that fashion, because those are the signs that we were told will be taking place. But people now have gone, accustomed to not being thrilled at these signs that are happening.
Mm-hmm. Right. Just like remember with that eclipse that happened in 2024, when people they were just looking at it like it was some regular eclipse. The whole war is getting prepared. But that was a sign for your demise, Esau.
Yep. Lights out.
That's right.
Lights out, nigga.
And it says, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I told thee before.
Hey, you turn the lights off before you do something to somebody.
Yo, yeah.
You say, hey, man, hit the lights.
Yeah.
So the Lord bro, when the day turned to night, you talking about that? When the day turned nighttime?
Yeah, yep.
Bro, I seen that.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that in this life, bro. I watched literally like how you take a dimmer, like when you take a light dimmer and you turn it off and then you just illuminate, deluminate. Bro, I saw that in real time. I said, man, bro, this dude is powerless.
And for people to think that exactly he's powerless, he's just a man. And people think that there's no higher power,
right? That
the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai does not exist. You are a fool.
You know why you know there's a higher power? Because people will argue there ain't one, which proves demons get on people to make them think there isn't one.
Right.
But my point is, why is there even the talk of it or thought of it? If there is no God in this, why is man even thinking there is then?
Right.
Why would man even think that then?
Yeah, exactly.
Why would man even, if there's not one? And then why do demons make you try to tempt you that there isn't one?
Right.
If Yahweh Shema Shai didn't exist, then why do you have thoughts of Satan try to tell you he don't exist? As you see, or the name, Why does Satan use Jesus? Because he's trying to tempt you with a lie. That's why it says rebuke the tempter.
That's right.
So with the things that Satan tries to tempt you with, in essence, he's also showing his hand of it to be true.
Yep. That's right.
Why Satan wouldn't tell Yahushai to turn the stone into bread. I think he did if he knew he couldn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? He knew he could do it. That's why he said it to him.
Right. And it said back in 2 Edges 9:2, it says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world.
Which is the same thing Yahushai let us know in Matthew 24, right? And uproars in the world.
Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee.
So now we're getting to see what has been said.
Right.
We're getting to see what was written down. All right. And everybody is going to react to prophecy being fulfilled, whether they want to or not.
Yep. And it says, verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end. And Esau, your end is up. Excuse me, your end is here, should I say. And the end is manifest.
Boom. The end is manifest. So we should be looking at a lot of things, Lord willing, taking place this year.
Yeah.
You know, it's a new moon. It's a new year. So there's a new spirit that, you know what I mean? Like, because it's coined on January, but you're actually in your new year now. But what has this year been deemed? The agents, apostates, sellouts, and Jacob's trouble.
Yep.
So now we're going into the Passover, you know, with everything going on, you should be expecting the will of the Lord to come to pass, you know? So that's the lesson, man. You know, that's you got something?
Exodus 12, you want that still?
No, it's
Okay,
good. That's
okay.
camp. That's camp. So, Lord's will, you brothers and few sincere sisters was edified through the Spirit as we were, and we just want to say, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Chakudash. Double honors to our elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. Peace, safety, and salutations to the Lord's beloved elect. With that being said, Shalom.